Hi guys, so tonight for dinner we're going to be making a pizza. My son talked me into making pizza, homemade pizza. I suck at making homemade pizza dough guys, so bear with me. I just got to keep practicing until I get it right. So to a large bowl I'm adding some warm water. I'm going to add in a little bit of sugar and some olive oil. I'm going to whisk this together until the sugar dissolves. Next, I'm going to sprinkle in my yeast. And I'm going to let this sit for about 5 minutes until it gets nice and foamy. At first I was thinking it wasn't foaming up, but it was actually foaming up underneath the oil, so that's why you can't see all the foam. So now I'm going to go ahead and set that aside, and in another bowl I have some flour, some all-purpose flour. I'm going to mix in a little bit of salt. And now I'm going to go ahead and combine the two. Now I'm going to keep mixing until a dough ball forms. Now once it starts to form into a dough ball, you want to go ahead and flour your surface, your working area, and then you're going to knead your dough until it's nice and smooth. And so as you can see, my dough is nice and smooth and it's like elasticy. So I'm going to go ahead and rub a little bit of olive oil in a bowl and cover my hands with it, and I'm going to rub it over the dough, and I'm going to cover it and sit it in a warm place to rise for 1 hour. Meanwhile, I went ahead and made some homemade pizza sauce. I just take some tomato sauce, I add in some onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, a little bit of basil, salt, pepper, just like some Italian seasonings. Now, of course, you can top your pizza with whatever you would like to top it with. I'm doing like a half and half. So I have some pepperoni, I have some spinach, I have some fresh basil, garlic, tomatoes, jalapenos, olives, red bell pepper, and some red onion. Now after an hour has passed, you want to go ahead and take your dough and you're going to punch it down, and you're going to add it to your floured surface, and you're going to go ahead and work your dough for a couple of minutes. Anytime I try to make bread or pizza dough, it just does not come out right, and maybe I'm overworking it, maybe I'm underworking it, I don't know. But I just got to keep practicing until I get better. Now I'm going to go ahead and flour my surface again, and I'm going to roll out my dough. Now this recipe said you can cut this dough into 3 pieces and make 3 different pizzas. So I just rolled the dough out as thin as possible, and I put it on my biggest sheet pan. Now I'm going to brush the edges of it with a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my sauce and my toppings. Now in the directions, it did say like if you have a pizza stone, you can pre-bake it and this and that. I did not feel like doing any of that. Plus I don't have a pizza stone, so that's why I rolled it out pretty thin, because I figured if it's super thin, it doesn't have to go through all that in the oven. So I'm just going to continue topping my pizza. The side with the jalapenos is mine. And I'm going to top it with just a little bit more cheese. and then I popped it in the oven at 425 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. You guys want to watch it. It all depends on the thickness of your crust. You guys, this pizza was so good. The crust was light and crispy. Yum.